talk about first, from Trump moving subs over. I don't know exactly what took place, but evidently there was a conversation with former president of Russia, Medvedev, whatever. He was Putin's guy. I guess you can only hold presidency for so long, and then you have to like give it up. He kind of like was a placeholder for Putin. From that to Trump fired the labor secretary because the numbers didn't sound right to him. A lot to talk about. You know, sometimes Trump's madness is just so goddamn ridiculous that sometimes I be wanting to say, do white people understand how dangerous this is? There's like a gun going off near your head and it's like, I missed it. Another instant is left or into the right, you've been dead. See, this is one of those moments. And it's all the time with Trump. You know, there's been talk that his labor secretary business, he fired his lady because the job numbers are bad. We knew that. And they've been wondering, like, why is the economy so unstable? Well, the job numbers, they pretty much prove it out that it's fucked up. So he fires the lady instead of recognizing what that means. That's what he does. This is what Trump does. That's what he does. When bad things happen, everything he does is reckless. It's going to end 2 or 3 ways. A, go deeper into culture war, which is what I say all the time. Go after gay marriage, civil rights, whatever. DEI, whatever. B, you go and you fire people. Go doing their job. Anybody that's good at doing their job under Trump is at risk. C, he will go back and change the definition of things. I was like, man, murdering somebody and going back and telling the legislature to reword murder to where it's like, he didn't technically commit murder. That's what Trump does. Because you wonder like, when will there be consequences and like, the things he does, like when will that's how it will always go with him. Is he'll just refocus it, rechange it, and the people that recognize, like, hey, this is bullshit, they'll get fired. So Republicans came out against him on this, pretty shocking. And I know labor statistics is like the Bible or something. It's not supposed to be altered. It's supposed to be, King James or whatever, that. And there's a lady talk about how it shows you where Republicans' loyalty is, that they didn't fight for food stamps or any of that stuff, but they're mad about this. Yeah. Because it's white people's money. SNAP and all that is like, they're lazy and these are thugs and like, they just want free shit and all that. And with the labor numbers, hey, this is how people invest money and stuff. They look at the labor numbers. It's kind of like how people look at like the sales of used cars, and it's like kind of like similar to that. It's a quantitative of things. It's the same thing. It doesn't really make me feel any way other than white folks' money. When that's white folks' money, they don't get made. You don't get an impact. There's been talk J.D. Vance is going to be the next, they're going to move somebody away, and then the problem with his blood pooling in his legs, that probably have heart failure and stuff. If J.D. Vance gets up there and he does that, there's already this contention. Trump put out a meme of J.D. Vance making fun of him, which is, I always say I love it because Trump always taxes on people. I love it. Like him calling Giuliani a baby. I love it. He always attacks on people. It's a matter of time. I love to see that. If you think that you're going to rock with Trump and that'll build your career, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. That will never happen. What's Giuliani doing now? So, to me, it's sort of beautiful to see that. I was saying that Trump is not going to bow down and let J.D. Vance become the president unless he goes out in the box. Unless he goes out with a blanket over him, Trump is not going to let J.D. Vance This is like Hitler and Himmler, when Hitler was in the bunker, and Himmler was like, you know, if you don't respond 24 hours, I'm gonna basically believe that you've been incapacitated. And Hitler was like, took all his medals. Like, that's what this is. That's what this will be. I love it. I loved it. There is no loyalty amongst fascists and cruel people. They agree with one another to invent cruelty. But when it comes to agreeing on things or policy or like the far, what is my intent over the next 10 years? They will never agree with that. They will never agree with that. And that's the beautiful part about all this. Is that Trump is not going to bow down to someone else's strategic efforts. It's not going to happen. He's not going to like do that. JD Vance, if he does do this 25th Amendment and all that, because Trump is probably out of his mind. There's a video of him talking and like he starts like ranting, and they take the camera down, and they force folks out of the building. I believe Trump is probably out of his mind behind closed doors. He just signs what they tell him to sign. Trump can just go on there and just get violent very quickly. He can say that JD Vance is a deep state, and you saw what happened to Pence. White men up there with the nooses. I don't know. Ask Mike Pence what I'm talking about. What can happen to his vice president if he doesn't do what he's told to do? Maybe, you know, maybe something happens. I don't know. That's the beauty of all this. Whether it be this, people that go against Trump and think they just like move him out of the way, or whether it be Mexicans that think they're white, you know, like I'm gonna support Trump because of my religion and because I'm better than black people. Yeah, white folks are gonna show you better than I can that you aren't, and that they don't. They're gonna show you better than I can how they feel about you. And you see that now with ICE. You see that now with going after criminals. Now it's and oh, they're lazy, but somehow you're going after them at their jobs. They're lazy, but you're coming after them at the Home Depot where they're working. You're going after them at their court appearances, but they're criminals. Look, the dangerous part, I ended with this, is watching Trump put us up against the dead hand system. He talked about comments or threats made, whatever, by former President of Russia, which I think he just says those things to stay relevant. Cause that's what this white man does. Is that they just throw shit at the wall. And this is another consequence of Trump playing this dictator, hard man, strong man, you know, figure. Is that he thought that everybody else would bow down to him, and that's how he get things done. See, white folks didn't get it. He wasn't talking about getting things done like policy and bills. He's talking about cruelty. He's talking about being a fascist. He's talking about, I'll be a dictator in chief, and the other strong men will respect me. And that remember he said, I'll go in Ukraine war in 24 hours? Yeah, because he's saying that I think I can control Putin, and that I can just go in there and just put my foot down and things will start happening. Didn't work out that way. So now he's realizing Putin played him, which we already knew, and he wants to go toe to toe. One minute he's like trying to pimp Ukraine, because see, the whole game of this game of Trump's a con man. His game is, all right, I'll go up here, I'll stand up there, you know, in the meetings or whatever, the peace meetings, and Putin is going to ask for everything in Ukraine but get a single. And when Ukraine finally says no, I'll say, oh, I did my best. Sorry, dude. Deuces. That's not what's happened. Ukraine has pretty much went along with a lot of what they put forward to their own detriment. So now, in all this, Putin is still attacking. While they've had peace agreements laid out, Putin's still getting attacked. Putin's still attacking to the point to where Trump had to go out to the media and tell him, Vladimir, stop. Because he doesn't respect America. doesn't fear Trump. This is why folks can understand. This is the danger of this moment of a con man president. You have to go on social media and beg people to stop because he doesn't fear us. To where, and now he made some kind of a 30-day deal of like if they don't stop attacking the 30 days, people didn't sort. Now Trump has upped it up. Like, oh, we're gonna make less than 10 days or something like that. People don't care. They said they don't care. You had the thing, this genocide taking place in Gaza, to where the Jews have said themselves they thought America would pull it back, but we don't have that because we don't have a reasonable president. We don't have any reasonable governance right now to hold people accountable, to maintain those red lines, the bottom line of not allowing aggressive war, of upholding human rights. We don't have that. So this world's strongmen, Putin and Netanyahu, are just killing. Because who's going to stop them? Who's going to stop me? America? Trump trying to allow legalized bribery. Who's gonna stop him? Who's gonna stop him? So this whole moment is just a case study in a let the clown get a circus. It's a con man administration. Through and through, con man administration. And one thing about it that I want to add this too. So this is talking about moving subs over there and all this stuff. The attack with Ukraine, the attack with Iran. They going over there and bombed them and lied about it. And we found out we didn't really that much damage, and then, all this kind of stuff. This is just con man stuff, man. And whether it be him lying about the attacks, or him lying about him firing his labor secretary for doing her damn job, this is what Trump does. Either I get what I want, or I'll fire you, or I'll put your life in danger, or I'll just go deeper into the culture war. Or I'll change the definition of words and the common phrases that we all understand. I'll just change the wording. We all know something is something. This business with Russia, moving the subs, what Trump is doing is they're talking about the dead hand system perimeter, which is it's kind of like a pit. What it does is, in case of an emergency, it searches. See, this communication between them and the FSB or them and the Kremlin. If the communication's there, it stops. If the communication's cut, it looks to find out like what was the last communication with it, and if the last communication were at war or being attacked, okay, then it would attack. If there's no communication, okay, it keeps searching. Evidently, they've got sensors all over Russia. After Russian, their land has been attacked, it will launch the missiles by itself. So what Trump is doing is actually moving us into war with this thing. I don't know if it still works, or if it's just, so much of what I look at is stuff that's declassified material that, what's going on in the 70s and 80s and all that. Perimeter may not exist anymore. But if it does, this is a very dangerous moment. Very dangerous moment. And Trump moving us into a very dangerous moment. And the scariest part about Trump isn't him lying. It's knowing that we could already be in a war, we could already be in a recession, and we never even know about it. People could be dying at that Loud Gate Alcatraz, we never even know about it. That's the scariest part of Trump to me. It isn't the violence. It isn't what he does. It's living under what I call. This is what I call a ruthless. This is a ruthless system. This is an America that really has no. It's a ruthless country, and going up against the dead hand system is so fucking dangerous. This is one of those things Michael Brooks talked about that, like, I don't think most Americans understand how dangerous this is. You know what I mean? Like I said, like going in somewhere and somebody shoots a shotgun and like it misses you by like a couple inches. Like, this is dangerous. And I feel like my videos more and more are like the recklessness, the utter recklessness of this administration.